Hi all, and Happy New Year. And welcome to the first show of the new year. And I'm joined in this one by Dan.
Yes, it's me. Happy New Year.
Right. And in this one, we're just going to go a bit over what we've got up and coming and what we're kind of planning doing in the new year, army wise as well.
Yeah.
So, first thing really you've got coming up soon, Dan, is the Masters.
Well, I have, yeah. Masters. That's on the 21st, 22nd. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Should be fun. It's a two-dayer. That's what we all decided on as a group in the end. There was a few people who did prefer one day, but we kind of went back and forth, and the majority went for 2 days. So I think that's ideal, to be honest. I think it's a fitting end to the 2016 tournament year to see who's the top player. So yeah, should be good.
You fancy your chances?
Well, I mean, I typically do well at most tournaments, so I might win, but it's hard to say. You just never know what will go wrong. You might make one silly mistake at one point, lose that one game, you know.
I've
But
had a few. I'm doing the list holding because I'm the impartial third party. I'm holding all the lists as people send them in. So I've
yeah,
had a few
yeah,
in now. So I'm not going to talk about it because I've seen them. But I will say Al got his in straight off the bat. He was in the first in by
yeah.
a long way. That man is confident and hungry for it.
He is a very good player. I think he's got a very good chance of winning. But I'll be fair, there's some other amazing players there, so it could be one of several people. I'll be honest, if you were going, I'd quite fancy you for winning as well potentially. But
Uh,
you didn't quite make it in, did you?
no, not enough tournaments last year, unfortunately. Although
Yeah,
this year,
that
when you look at the rankings, I'm currently sitting above you, Dan.
yeah, that
So
was it. By the way, yeah, if you'd done that fourth tournament, you would have been in. And actually, currently looking at the rankings for anyone who's misunderstood that, I'm number one. What Walter's talking about is if you change it to Masters mode. Well, yeah, sure, he's done more tournaments this year, but overall, I'm still number one.
I'll take the
So
victory. I'll take it when I can get it. So otherwise, yeah, we've got a few more coming up in January. We've got Altibash 3 through in Altrincham. The guys there always run a good event. That's the first one of the year, really, isn't it?
yeah, Ultibash. Now, is this for one which got like a closed list for the first or more games?
Oh yeah, isn't that right? This is closed list. Yeah,
I
the whole
think
thing's
it
closed
might
list,
be.
I think.
Yeah,
That's going
so
to be
yes,
interesting.
it is closed list for this tournament. Now, last time, if you recall, were you there at the first one? You
No,
weren't, were you?
no.
Second. We did close for the first game and then said to everyone, "Do you want to play closed in the next one?" And everyone said yes. In fact, we played closed all game long.
Hmm.
But there was a few people, Gary and such, going, "Oh, there's people watching my game. They're spying out my items. Oh no!" So I don't know. It's a bit of a laugh, isn't it? So I'll be honest, it's an interesting one. And do I take a special army with closed, with hidden surprises,
You got to take the
or
pendant. Surely you have to take the pendant. A
well,
closed list one.
I mean, I actually did that, and I put it on zombies. And the only time people ever killed my zombies when they had it was via shooting. They just assumed it had it.
Yeah, I was
So
thinking
in that
putting the
case, you should
vampire
put
and
it
the
on something else.
dragon.
Yeah, yeah. But you see, the other thing is, do I instead take whatever army I'm going to take to the Masters and practice it?
Mm,
I mean, that would, in a way, that's the sensible choice because it gives me the practice with it. And I've not played Kings of War since the last tournament. When was that? November?
yeah.
I think it was November. So I am a bit out of practice. So it would probably make sense to practice my list. But on the other hand, people would then see me taking that army and think, oh, actually, their list's already in by that point. Aha! So it's irrelevant what I take
Hmm.
because people can't change them.
Yep.
It is good putting it in early. Yay! So I guess practicing probably makes sense. Although anyone who does play against me, who I would then play at the Masters, would then have practice against playing that list. But I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it?
Stop overthinking it, Dan. Stop overthinking it. You're just overthinking yourself into paralysis there. Just make a decision, stick with it.
Yeah, that's funny.
So what else we've got coming up? I've got Woodland Realms. That's at Black Dragon Hinkley at the end of January, the 28th. I'm hopefully going to get along to that one.
Yeah.
Then in
I,
February, we've got Nick's next one, Leonidas Bash up in Leeds.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
We'll
I
get
think
to that.
Nick's doing some interesting things for his next one, isn't he? He's made it a dual list event.
Oh yeah, this is the one. So he's decided basically you'll get two lists and you have to play three games with one list and two with another. Is he doing it?
Uh, it's something along those lines.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like the old War Machine sort of way of doing it. It's quite
yeah.
interesting because it makes it. You can tempt you to take some of the more rock paper scissors lists because if you're up against something you don't want to play, you can just switch to your other lists.
I think it's a little bit tricky depending on the army. I mean, for me, if I was taking herd to that, generally you kind of need those shamans because they're
Mm,
like really useful. Whereas with undead, oh no, I've got vampires in this list. In this one, I'll take a vampire on dragon.
mm.
I'll take a vampire on peg, and they don't count as the same character.
I've
Whereas
noticed is he actually put a whole bunch of rules on how the lists have to be different.
yeah, it's got to be. You can't use the same characters in both. So
All right.
for some armies, like undead, we're like, oh, we don't care.
Mm.
But for my herd, it'd be like, oh, that's actually quite painful. So I think it would, if you played it a lot, it'd shake down to the meta, and you'd see that some armies would be much better at it than others. For a one-off event, for a bit of fun, it's perfect. A
Yeah.
bit of a laugh. So
That's a
yeah,
shame actually because I'm working on my herd army just now and I'm only going to have one list painted
well,
anytime soon.
it's 2,000 points. That's not really a problem because it's two 1,200. So you can share some core units and such.
Mm.
I think it's just characters that you can't duplicate over both lists.
Well,
So
we'll see. I'll work it out. I'll have a wee look at the rules pack. They usually should probably read the rules pack at some point.
yeah, I did have the rules pack. I've currently mislaid it, but
And
it's
then,
a
yeah. And the next one we've got up is Fools of War on April the 1st. That's Darren's one in Stockport.
yeah, yeah. That's one I've said I'm going to go along to. I think it'll be fun. Did you say you can't make
Yeah,
it?
unfortunately, I can't make that one. I got prior commitments, which is a shame because I think that's the first 2 dayer. It's a 2 day one, isn't it?
It is. It
Yeah, it's
is.
the first 2 day one
Uh,
up this neck of the woods, so that's a bit of a shame.
yeah, I mean it's convenient. Did you say it's actually being held at Element
I'm
Stockport?
pretty sure that's the element, isn't it?
So I can't remember. So I do have the option of staying at home for that one. Then
Hmm.
obviously then you miss out on the night out, but it makes it a lot cheaper.
You missed the night out in
So
Stockport is not anything major, Dan. You can get a taxi back from where you're at.
true, true. So that's yeah. I think that's going to be fun. Dan's taking a bit of a punt out on this, a little bit of a risk because obviously if people don't sign up enough, then he ends up being out of pocket. But his single day events have all done well. He's been all of them have been around 20 plus or approaching 30. So you know,
I'd like a few more 2 day events at Kings War. I do like a good 2 dayer. There doesn't seem to
yeah.
be a lot of them though about just now.
It's I don't know. It's just have to see how, what if people want it and go or not. Hopefully it'll do well. I mean, back in Warhammer, 2 day events were the main thing, weren't they? There
Oh
was a
yeah,
lot of
1 day
the
events
day.
were really uncommon.
Yeah, we used to go to quite a few. Whereas in Kings of War, in the UK at least, it's been all about the one day. I mean, if you go over to somewhere like America, they're more about the 2 days. But I think that's because they have to travel further. If you're going to travel, you don't want to do just a single day.
Yep, and that there's a handy segue to the big one we've got coming up later in the year where we're all heading over to Lone Wolf in Texas. There's
Yeah, there's
myself,
definitely.
Dan, Nick, John F, and we just found out recently, I believe, Ed Herzig, the professor, is going to be over
Yeah,
there as well.
yeah. Apparently, he's over there working. So he was like, "Well, I might as well head over to Texas." He was saying he's not actually going to have an army with him, but those guys will sort him out at once. So job's
Excellent.
a good one.
It's going to
Yeah,
be good fun. I'm looking forward to that. It's the first time I've done a tournament
uh,
abroad.
it's going to be amazing. Yeah, I loved it last year, and it looks to be every bit as good this year. Let's just hope we don't have any issues with the flights or anything.
Like,
We just
like
had an
you.
email. Well, yeah, we just had an email the other day saying one of the flights was cancelled. It was like, what? But then when you read it more carefully, it's not cancelled. They've simply changed the code of it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I
Don't tell
saw
us it's
that email.
cancelled.
I just didn't even read it. I have to admit, yeah, I've been really bad. I still need to even sort out my luggage allowance. I am just not prepared.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
no, that's going to be. I've got my cowboy hat. I've got my kilt. I'm sorted. I just got to
Yeah.
decide what army to take with me now because I'm kind
Well,
of torn.
that's it. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to build a new army because with Lone Wolf, because the way those guys do the hobby over there, it really makes me want to go the extra mile. So I've got a Varangur army that I've been planning on, something a little bit different, and yeah, and I've gone for Russians. Is it Warlord Games? I think so. Anyway, really nice models. I wanted something a little bit different, so I want to paint them up really nicely. But I've been looking at different techniques. I've been considering going for some. What's the word with the lighting effects?
Object lighting, object
Yeah,
source lighting.
object source lighting. Yeah, I've been looking at some object source lighting.
I
'Cause
like doing that. You know, I'm on dead armies like that, and I've used it in other stuff I've done in the past. It's a really simple but very, if you've done well, it can be really effective.
Yeah, well, what I was thinking of doing as well is having them like forest themed, with like spooky trees and spirits. And although it's object source lighting, actually using some actual lighting as well.
Oh,
To
yeah. After
so
you did it in your battle board, you've kind of got the urge to
exactly.
do the LEDs.
Yeah, so I want to LED every unit. So I'll have like a spooky tree with like I think I'm going for green. It could be blue. I'm undecided. Sort of like coming out the trees. Now the reason for the color is somewhat I'm unsure at the moment. Is I was thinking green, but then recently on Facebook I saw this really nice Night Stalker army, which was designed as if it was in the night.
That's
Sort
Dave's
of
one, Dave Crabtree's one, is it?
was it? I don't think it was.
There's a
But
few of them. There's a few of them that are very sort of similar. They're all doing the same as the undead I've got. They're all sort of object source lit as if they're night. That's a kind of common one to do.
Yeah, what I liked about this is he'd done it kind of blue, and it gave it a very cool sort of.
Oh yeah, I saw
nighttime.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I could imagine doing something along those lines, but with the actual lighted effects as well could look really nice. So I might go for a spooky blue wood nighttime theme. And basically, I've got various. It's there's quite a bit of cavalry and such. So I was thinking of like modelling them up and such. And but it occurred to me that unlike my cat army, I would be doing an army with lots of painting, but actually there'd be no conversion. And that's actually something else that I really do want to still keep in there because I like converting the models as well as the units. So I've got some archers and such. So I was thinking, well, why don't I mean, as some people do, string the bows and put arrows on them?
Yeah. No, that's very. It
And
looks very cool that when done right. It
yeah,
looks a bit
yeah.
tricky to do, I have to admit.
I looked it up on YouTube, and apparently it can take 10 or 15 minutes per bow. I mean,
Ooh.
yeah, but it sounds feasible, and I presume I'd get faster with practice. And then when it comes to the point, have we converted it? Yes, I have. So, and I think that would look kind of cool. So that's currently where I'm looking at for getting a bit of conversion in there.
Well, see, I'm kind of torn what to take because I'm planning doing orcs this year. Orcs is going to be my kind of big project for the year, but I am not a fast painter, so there's no way I'll have that done for Lone Wolf to any kind of standard I'd want to take. So I'm torn between my undead and my herd that I'm working on. My undead will be the better, I think, army on the table combat wise, but I think my herd will be a better looking army. So I'm kind of torn. I think I'll probably end up going with the herd just because I've been spending a lot of time over Christmas trying to get it finished, and it is just such a
Yeah,
much better painted army. I'll probably take it for that
yeah.
reason alone.
I mean, to be fair, your herd is your new army. You've not
Hmm.
used it yet, have you?
Nope.
So it will be a new army. Whereas for me, although I love my herd, for me that was more 2016s.
Hmm.
So I kind of want something new for this year. And is it a bit of a stretch to get it done for April? I think for me, no. I mean, I normally do an army in a week or two. Okay, everyone's aware that my painting isn't as good as others, but that's a week or two. I've still got 4 months.
Yeah.
So as long as I do actually get cracking on it in January, I should be able to get it to a higher paint job sort of standard. Plus, in a way, by using object source line, I can kind of cheat because there's less actual requirements to painting.
Well,
I
it
was
depends what you do actually. If you're going to go with just the blacklist and do the object source,
listening.
it's been done a lot, and some people have done it really well. I always think the better way to do the object source when you look at the people who actually paint the whole model up and then object source it, because that actually looks much
But
better if you
I
do it
did
right.
kind of want to go for like a nighttime sort of setting,
Hmm.
so I wouldn't want too much light on the subject. Plus, I was listening to Chris Walsh on Countercharge,
Hmm.
and he was saying about the way he did it, and because of the models they've got like the tabs on the bases and chopping the bases off horses and such, they're just going to snap all the legs off. I'm kind of forced to glue them into position initially before painting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could do some painting, but listening to him is he was saying he puts them in position and paints them from there on the basis that if you can't get your brush round to where you want to paint, then you don't need to paint it because people can't see it. So that would actually reduce some of the painting requirement. And hey, if it worked for Chris Walsh, we all know how good he is, then it sounds reasonable.
I've got OCD about that. I paint bits in the model no one's ever going to see because it does my not to imagine it's unpainted.
Perhaps that's a waste of time. But I don't know. But the other benefit of that is obviously once it's in position, I'll know where it is from the light point of view, and that's kind of a new concept to me because I'm quite behind the times. I've never really thought about the position of the light on the base. So what I can do is I can get them in position. I can see where the light's going to be from, because I'm going to put the light in and everything, and then I should help paint the areas that need the light sourcing on it. So it all sounds quite interesting. Anyway,
yeah, it should be good. Like I'm trying to work out right now. I'm just planning the orcs out in my head what it's going to look like on the table. I think my plan for this lot is to try and do it so rather than I'm going to build a display board for the herd. But for the orcs, I was planning to try and do it in such a way that the base is all fitted together, because I'm going to multi-base them and get that all to fit together to actually form the display board. I feel like itself as I put it together. I'm still not quite sure how to achieve that yet, and I'm still trying to work out what sort of basing and colour scheme to use. I'm thinking I might paint them white, maybe even a mixture of white and black, and do them quite stark and monochrome. I've not decided yet, though.
I'm actually in a similar boat with my Varan Gurur, in that I'm about maybe doing them so that they jigsaw together to make the actual army base. Because obviously, if I want to get it over to Texas, then I don't want too big a board. So by combining the miniatures into the actual, the base into the army board, and I think get it all in one, that would reduce what I need to take over. And I always magnetise the bottom of mine anyway, so I could just turn the army board into put rubber steel on it, and then obviously stick all those units on it to make the base.
Yeah.
That does sound feasible. Now, the only issue is with doing that sort of army is it wouldn't matter for Lone Wolf, but I do like to change my armies round. And every time I change my army round, that would effectively screw with the army board design, if you think about it. So I guess I need to kind of think of a way where it is actually modifiable without ripping all the miniatures off the bases constantly and redo. I don't know. So
that was a tricky part I was having with the orcs. I can see how to do it for one army. It's just if I want to add in units, or you're going to change units at some point, how to make it so that they kind of fit in.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a good idea in theory. I'm wondering if in practicality it might not actually work so well.
If any listeners to this have some ideas on that, feel free to let us know. It'd be good to get some input on that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So new armies, more tournaments.
Yeah. I mean, we should also give mention to the Beers of War tournament coming up next year. It's not one I'll be able to make, but I know quite a few others are going, so that sounds pretty good fun. Yeah. Beer and Kings of War is generally a good thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one because I'm not going to that one as well, so it's not my calendar.
Sadly. To be honest, I like Kings of War and Mead. I thought that was a good combination.
There you go. There's a tournament idea for you, Dan. You can run that one.
Meads of War.
Meads of War. There you go. It sells itself already. Right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Hopefully, you should see a bit more content coming out now over the next few months. I've spent Christmas recording a few bits and bobs to get up, and we'll be starting the Masters coverage in the next week or two, hopefully for the UK Masters, and get a bit about that as the army lists start to come in.
Sounds good.
So enjoy yourselves and catch you all later.
Bye.